Drake has been one of the most influential artists in the music industry for over a decade, dominating the charts and shaping the culture of hip-hop. Lately, things have taken a bizarre turn. From bizarre music video moments to questionable, legal moves, the question has to be asked, has Drake truly become the biggest Karen in hip-hop? Over the past few years, we've witnessed him desperately trying to maintain his image and control his narrative, even when it means going to extremes. This video is going to dive into one of the most controversial and, frankly, embarrassing moments in Drake's career, but here's the catch: what we're about to uncover isn't just about some random controversy. This is a pivotal moment in hip-hop that could change everything. You thought you knew about Drake. His attempt to clear his name has backfired so spectacularly that it might lead to a fall that no one saw coming. With the whole world watching, Drake has managed to turn a simple career hiccup into an battle involving his label, his fans, and even rival artists. But what's really happening behind the scenes? And can Drake recover from this mess? Or has he made a fatal mistake? Stick with me as we break down this chaos, one shocking revelation at a time. If you were on the internet when Drake released the Noja music video, you probably remember the massive uproar. For those who haven't seen it, here's the deal. Drake released a video that many fans immediately compared to Kendrick Lamar's style, with some even going as far as calling it an imitation. It wasn't just the visuals that felt off, it was the whole vibe. Fans started questioning, was Drake trying to copy Kendrick here? And if so, why? The backlash was swift and brutal. Why would Drake, a top-tier artist in his own right, feel the need to mimic Kendrick, a peer who's seen as one of the greatest lyricists of his generation? Drake's response? He acted like it was no big deal. His team quickly jumped into defense mode, insisting it wasn't an imitation but a creative decision. But the damage was done. Fans began to wonder if this was a desperate attempt to ride Kendrick's coattails and regain some lost relevance. Why else would he do something like this unless he was trying to steal the spotlight? This wasn't just a fluke, it was the beginning of a much larger story about how Drake's desperate pursuit of control over his image would start to unravel, piece by piece. He was in a position where nothing seemed to go right, no matter how hard he tried. Then came the legal drama. Things took a serious turn when Drake's legal team took action, seeking validation for some incredibly controversial claims. A judge ruled in Drake's favor, allowing him to proceed with a case that many insiders found completely outlandish. Why was he even fighting this battle in the first place? It wasn't just about clearing his name anymore. It was about maintaining control over a narrative that was rapidly slipping from his grasp. But it wasn't just Drake in the spotlight. UMG, his record label, was caught in a difficult position. They didn't want this drama to go any further. Behind closed doors, they fought to halt the case, knowing full well that if this thing went public, it could have irreversible consequences. However, the judge's decision to allow the case to move forward meant they had no choice but to let it happen. Drake's team seized the opportunity to frame the situation as a victory. Even though UMG was clearly trying to contain the situation, to the public, it looked like a win for Drake. Those in the know understood the truth. This wasn't a battle he was going to win in the long run. As Drake's team celebrated, the cracks in his story began to show. For months, he had been positioning himself as the victim of an industry conspiracy, but as the legal documents were unveiled, it became clear that there was more to the story than Drake wanted to admit. His efforts to paint himself as the hero in this narrative quickly began to fall apart. The deeper you dug into the details of the case, the more questions started to arise. Drake's team had been pushing narratives about his career being suppressed, but what they failed to realize was that their attempt to expose the industry's dirty secrets could backfire in the most dramatic way possible. The truth was, UMG had a lot of skeletons in the closet secrets about Drake that could completely destroy his carefully curated image. And while Drake and his team worked to position themselves as the underdogs fighting for justice, they had no idea that they were setting the stage for their own downfall. UMG's hesitance to let the case move forward wasn't because they were trying to protect Drake, it was because they knew just how damaging the fallout could be for everyone involved. The longer this dragged on, the more likely it was that Drake's secrets would come to light. One of the most bizarre chapters in this saga was Drake's ongoing feud with Kendrick Lamar. For years, there's been a subtle animosity between the two, with Drake making veiled references to Kendrick's success in interviews. But things got really messy when Drake's team attempted to discredit Kendrick's achievements by alleging that his rise to fame was driven by bots. Yes, You heard that right, Drake's camp accused Kendrick of using fake engagement to boost his success. This was a bold and dangerous move, one that put Drake on the defensive. The whole thing backfired in spectacular fashion. Drake's team started to play down the accusations, quietly backing off from the whole narrative when it became clear they had no evidence to support it. Instead of getting the gotcha moment they were hoping for, they were left with a pile of unsubstantiated claims. It was a PR disaster for Drake, and the public began to question his motives. If Drake was so confident in his own success, why did he feel the need to discredit Kendrick in such a petty way? The fact that Drake's team quickly retracted the accusations only added fuel to the fire, making it clear that the narrative was never grounded in truth. But this situation wasn't just about Drake, it was about the entire hip-hop industry. Drake's actions have set a dangerous precedent for the future of rap, one where artists feel they can manipulate the media and the legal system to win battles instead of focusing on their music. If this trend continues, hip-hop could be forever changed. Artists might start turning to litigation and media manipulation as the go-to tools for dealing with beefs, replacing the raw energy of battle rap with courtroom drama and press releases. This isn't just a problem for the artists involved, it's a threat to the very integrity of the genre. Hip-hop has always been about self-expression, authenticity, and pushing boundaries. But if this situation becomes the new norm, we could see a future where the music takes a back seat to the drama and manipulation. That's not just bad for hip-hop, it's bad for music as a whole. And for fans who grew up with the true spirit of rap, it's a worrying sign that the game might be changing in ways they can't control. Despite the celebrations from Drake's team, this win could ultimately prove to be his downfall, while the legal proceedings might give Drake access to information that could further fuel his narrative. It's clear that he's playing a dangerous game. The deeper this situation goes, the more it exposes about Drake and his team. What started as an attempt to regain control over his image could turn into a complete unraveling of his career. Drake's attempts to manipulate the media, discredit his rivals, and pit himself against the industry might have worked for a while, but the cracks are starting to show. His label isn't fully supporting him anymore, and his reputation with fans is on the line. Even if he wins this legal battle, the long-term damage to his image could be irreversible. Drake has always been known for his ability to bounce back, but this time, it might be different. The public perception of him has shifted, and it's hard to see how he can recover from this mess. So, what happens next? Will Drake be able to bounce back from this? Or is this the beginning of the end for his reign over hip-hop? One thing's for sure, this saga isn't over yet. The legal drama will continue, and the truth will eventually come out. As more information is revealed, Drake's secrets may be exposed for all to see, and the fallout from this battle will reverberate through the entire industry. Drake might think he's playing for chess, but the truth is that he's set himself up for one of the biggest falls in hip-hop history. The consequences of his actions could change the game forever, and not just for him, but for everyone in the industry. Whether you love him or hate him, one thing is clear: this story is far from over. What do you think? Is Drake on the verge of a major comeback, or is this the beginning of the end? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on all the latest developments. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.